Hi, I'm Roshan and we are at the Sodh AI Summit. I am doing a podcast with the CEO of Sodh Alpha AI Summit and Sodh AI, Mr. Arastu Sharma. Hi, Arastu.
Hi, thanks very much for this.
Yes, I'm so glad that I'm in a conversation with him. I keep telling people that there is a lot to do in India, and I think he's an embodiment of going to the West, learning a lot from them, and coming back to India and building in India. Rasu, I would like to start with that. Why India again?
I do get asked this a lot, and for me, it was always like no question. It had to happen. There were times when I was thinking of staying abroad. So I spent around 10 years in the UK. I was doing my PhD there. I was working at Microsoft, and the great thing about there is like the systems are already set. Like everything is there. Things work, and the funding's there, capital's there. You know that if you work in something, it'll get to the point that people will support it to finish. But for me, it was like two things. I think one thing I always miss the energy of India, and where like we are chaotic people, but I think what you like, the more impact you can do in India, the more work, the effort that you can do in India, and the outcome that you will get from here is something far more that you will get there. Like even though like I'm focusing on areas that are more deep tech, and that's something definitely people try to do more in West than in India. But I think that's what also was an attractive point for me, that even if I do something smaller, that still be something distinct. So for me, it's like anyone who's out there, we should definitely come back. And India is the right place, the right time to do anything. And even recently, like everyone's mentioned. So I saw a quote by Vinod Khosla, the Khosla Ventures guy, and he mentioned that right now, like 20% of the world's growth is in India. So India leads like the share of the growth and the contribution towards the world's growth is 20%. So if you are an Indian and you have so much access in India, this is the place where great things can be built. Like if you are already in a developed country, your differentiation factor is not that much. You are very similar to a lot of people. If you learn from there and come back and you're able to set up the frameworks of the West that work in deep tech, the deep tech frameworks, the execution frameworks, if you can do that here, the impact will be more because you have a bigger differentiating factor. And India is the place to be right now. Yeah.
Totally makes sense. And we all are here building. And since you mentioned deep tech, Arastu runs a very interesting AI research lab in India called as Sodh AI. Like you all know, Sodh means to find, to seek.
Yeah.
And it's very fascinating that when the world is in chatbots right now, when it's just text-based or, like image-based, and it's very fun things that people are doing with this. You have taken up a very serious challenge of actually using AI for material sciences.
Yeah.
I know it is like you look like a person who likes to take up difficult challenges.
Yeah.
But then why this? Why so hard?
Yeah. There is a statement by Jensen Huang, the NVIDIA CEO, and he mentioned and I really like that. The statement was like, it's always worth going in $0 billion industry. That means industries that are zero right now, that people don't even realize can become something. If you can suffer through it and make something in that area, that is something where real creation can happen. So, we weren't thinking about all of this when we started this mission. But as you said, the AI race is all about languages and code right now. That's why I always say that's an area that's like full of fishes. It's like the river and ocean of code and languages is full. And the biggest of companies are working on it, and not just working on it, it's their highest priority. So if you are someone who's focusing on that and trying to create a new solution there, you'll be lag behind for sure. They have the capital, they have the resources, the engineering, nothing can beat them. What really we thought was, let's think like 5 years ahead. And 5 years ahead, AI's race has just started. It's just something that has opened up. We've just realized that we can actually play with languages. We can play computers like with languages. So the next thing is to be able to produce completely new things with AI. You would be able to do materials with AI. Drugs discovery would be very easy. You would be able to create completely new biotechnological, things. We saw that like protein was recently solved, right? The last year's Nobel Prize went to Dennis and team at DeepMind, where they worked on protein and sort of solved it in a way. So everything will be about AI in the future. Like it will be a huge field for sure, but it won't be just about language. Language is solved. Language is the current biggest thing, but the next race is science, is what I say. So it's worth, I think, this area that we've chosen. But as you call it, it'll be a lot of suffering. It'll be a lot of proving and hard work to actually see if it works or not. It's an unproven area, but I'm very bullish that this is the next AI race, and this time we can actually win.
So happy about it. And is the government supporting you?
Yes. So Sodh AI is one of the 12 companies that are part of the India AI mission by the mighty and the Indian government. And the aim here is that they thought after DeepSeek came out that we need to support direct support to a few companies that can build foundational models in India. The initial conversation was, as we always do, was always about languages and supporting Indic languages, and that's for sure important. We'll have a lot of applications with Indic languages, and to solve that for the people of India would be a great thing. But that's where we were one of the 2-3 startups that also got in, who were not working in languages but were targeting in different areas, and that's where we came in and we pitched for AI for science. We said that, see, right now, sure, languages, but the next thing is science. So let's start building models in this. So they've supported us with currently around 1.2 million hours of GPUs for free from the government support. They've given a lot of support, and like the support has been very different from my previous impressions of the Indian government. Like I'm in direct WhatsApp contact with the team there. There are people who they constantly are supported. They're constantly asking, did you get the GPUs? Did you need any help? It has been great, and that really gives me a lot of motivation to see how even in the government areas where we are always criticizing that, even there the way that things are moving, it really shows how India is really progressing. And even and I always say, government is not going to solve anything, but they have to create the right infrastructure, the right support systems, and just the right push. Even if a government says that this is the direction we are looking in, investors start to see it positively. So they don't have to do anything, but just the steps that they've taken already is something I think will help us in the future. So we're looking for further support from them, wherein they'll support a lot of capital expenditures and further GPU trainings. And so the government support has been great. And we are part of the 12 companies, part of the India AI mission. I recently also met the Prime Minister and was invited to his office. And he spent around an hour and a half with these 12 companies, listened to all of us, and then had a great conversation about AI. To my luck, I was just standing beside him, and everyone's trying to say something to him just to see get a picture or be able to interact directly. So I thought let's say something about AI for science. I said I quoted him that you said something inside, and we are trying for AI for science, and this is our mission. And I think what we want is that you and the government supports the AI for science more in the future and keep it in the policy framework. To which he mentioned, which was very stark to me, that he said that I always say that the AI for language is currently only for the lazy people, where we're trying to do the lazy tasks, but we should move on from language. He said, "हमें भाषा से आगे जाना चाहिए." So I was very happy that that course started, and that support itself means a lot, and that would help us grow a lot. Yeah,
I think I agree too. See, I am very apprehensive of any governments.
Yeah.
But from the last decade, I have noticed that the acceptance towards innovation and technology has been high.
Yeah.
And they do give all the companies, all the service providers a lot of autonomy.
Yeah.
And when I say autonomy, I remembered that you also are working on building autonomous labs for your AI. I don't know, are you going full Terminator? What do you want to happen?
That was a good word relation there. Yes. So the actual thing that we're building is, so the core problem to solve is called inverse design, which is if And in an ideal scenario, I give a question to AI that build me a future battery that works in, say, minus 20 degrees in Ladakh or Siachen. And this is the Indian scenario. We don't want lithium, we want this. So you give the whole conditions. And in an ideal scenario, it actually, thinks, and it is able to, because an AI is just a brain. It'll never be able to really directly say that just build this and it'll be correct. That never happens. For any material, for any discovery in a lab, you have to fail a lot of times. So in reality, what we would want is, I put this question, I get the answer that build this, I go in the lab, or I go in the factory and I'm able to build it. That's what we want to happen. That is a 5-year long dream. How do we get there? What you would really need is, for any material discovery or anything new you make in science, you need to fail a lot of times. So if I want to make a sodium battery rather than the lithium battery that we have, or replace the rare earth elements that India is struggling with right now with some alloys, it's possible. It just needs a lot of experimentation. So if we have to fail 10,000 times, right now it takes a decade to fail 10,000 times, a lot of money. That's why no one does it. That's why we are stuck on lithium. Everyone's stuck on lithium. The whole world dependent on China for the last 2 decades. And we can solve it if we could just do those experiments fast. So it's what we are creating is simple. If there will be an AI that knows physics, it'll be able to tell you what to do. But there is an autonomous lab of robots that's actually doing those 10,000 experiments within weeks. So that AI tells the robot, do this, failed. AI tells again, failed. So continuously running, we are aiming that in 6 months you'll be able to discover a new material that took a decade to discover before. So India should become a place not where we just create softwares for other people, but where we create patents and IPs and new materials for batteries, hydrogen energy, alloys, and many more. Obviously in drug discovery and biotechnology, but currently we're focusing in material science. So that's what the future is. AI plus robots, and you solve science.
Continuously them working and all. So it's it's so crazy if you look at it.
Yeah.
We are working on creating jobs for people, but at the same time, so ironic. But I think the jobs of the future will look very different.
Yes.
We will have a lot of orchestrators. So I think the future is bright, especially for our country.
100%.
Because there is the primary, second and tertiary sector. And AI is a completely different sector of its own. The employment is going to be great for this. With which I remember that you are going to the India AI Summit as well in Delhi, which is happening on the 17th. What are your plans? What are you going to present there?
So just on the job thing, I think, right now we're very focused on, starting the manufacturing hub in India. And that's great. And I think that'll happen. But also if you really look at the economies, Europe and US still rule because they're very much focused not on manufacturing, but focused on patent creation, IP creation, knowledge creation and owning that knowledge. That's really the main thing. So I think, sure, manufacturing hub we should make, but we have to focus on patent creation, science creation, ownership of the things that you've created. So and that's what we're trying to push for. Leading to the India AI Summit, it's happening on 16th to 20th, and it's being very well promoted by the government. And their aim was that let's put India shoulder to shoulder to the world, and let's be there. So they've invited, Sundar Pichai is coming, Jensen Huang's coming. I think a lot of Meta people are coming. Everyone's here, and it'll be great. So we've been given a booth right there on the floor beside NVIDIA, and we'd be again able to meet a lot of people. It'd be a great opportunity, I think. But we're launching our first AI model that we've trained on physics. So this is the world's first, what we call a mesoscale model, because normally right now, even the largest of companies, they're trying to solve the atomic part of the material world. So, but the problem is even the largest model that Google has built on materials, it's not usable because it will give you an atom, a new atom. It'll be this is a new molecule, you build this. But any scientist you talk to will be I don't know how to build it. Unless you tell me this is a new material, sure, but how to make it? Tell me how to make it, because like to make a new material, you need a different type of recipe every time, because I can put the same chemicals, it would still need a different type of properties of the reaction to build that same thing. So you just don't need a new material, you need how to make it also. So we are the first model in the world. It's a small size model right now. It's 7 billion model. But it's a model that's trained on not just how to make a new material, but also be able to what the new material is. And it's a diffusion model. So it's trained on, how you used to do like image generation. Right. So it's a diffusion model, but it generates 3D structures of new materials and how to make those materials. And then there is a separate forward model where you can check if that material was good or not based on real simulations. So that's the first POC of our work, and we'll be able to present it to the whole world. And that's what we are really doing at the summit.
Yeah, so you're doing really exciting work, and I think I got to know about Sodh AI just before I was coming here. I think it needs more and more people, when they hear about it, that there is somebody in India doing something like this, then it will create a different sense of excitement for everyone. It will inspire people to also try.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I had a lovely conversation with you, and kudos on Astra Alpha as well. It is a great event. I met people coming from Tamil Nadu to from I don't know Pradesh to Mizoram.
Yeah.
From where all people have come.
Yeah.
And I asked basically, how did you come? And we took a road, then we took the train. Like so insane. So the pool.
Hours and hours, yeah. And they've been up for 24 hours.
Build great products. And if you look at it, like the children of today, the Gen Z, are very empathetic towards problems.
Yes.
Like the issues that they have taken up, I don't know, like some of them were like clearly ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But some of them really went deep into the psyche of Indian society and all. It's great. Any closing words?
No, thank you so much from traveling for Bangalore for this, and definitely like congratulations to all of the students who participated. I really appreciate you saying that. I saw a project just now. They were building a blockchain based supply chain of agriculture, where so it was like, if you are an organic farmer and if you're a consumer who also believes in that and you care for what the farmer actually gets, using that QR code, you can sort of see the whole pipeline of it coming and seeing that the farmer actually didn't get that much. That's very empathetic, and I think technologies like this is where what blockchain and AI are actually made for. So thank you so much for the conversation. It was lovely. Thanks.